For the exam 1 review, I'm going to start here with number 1A, which says graph the following equation. This equation is the equation of a circle. And if we recall what the equation of a circle looked like, it was x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And we're going to be able to figure out the h and the k by these numbers that are inside the parentheses. I often just set those equal to 0. So we have like x minus 3 equal to 0 and y plus 2 equal to 0. And I'll go plus 3 here to add the 3 over. So we have x equal 3, and we'll subtract the 2 over, y equal negative 2. And so those are going to be our numbers for the center. So the center of this circle is the point 3 comma negative 2. Now the number here on the end with the 9, that's r squared in the equation. So r squared is 9, which tells us that r is equal to 3. And so that would be the radius. And so what we'll do is we'll lay this out here. Find the center and the radius. So here's our center down at 3 comma negative 2. Locate the radius and then just kind of draw a circle with that information. On number 2, it says state the value of the 6 trig functions at t using the given terminal point for t. And so what we're asked to do here is, using the x and the y coordinates, determine the values of sine, cosine, and all the rest. So let's look at this point, negative 1/6, comma square root of 35 over 6. So first off, the sine function, the sine of t, is equal to the y coordinate, so that would be square root 35 over 6. The cosine of t is equal to the x coordinate, so that would be negative 1 over 6. And then the tangent is equal to y over x. So here that would be the square root of 35 over 6 over negative 1 over 6. And so basically we're dividing by a fraction, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of negative 6 over 1. So that would turn into negative 6 square root of 35 over 6. But the 6 will reduce away here, and we'll be left with just the negative square root of 35 for the value of the tangent. And then our other ones, cosecant t. Cosecant was 1 over y, or is basically the reciprocal of sine. Be 1 over the square root of 35 over 6, which turns into 6 over the square root of 35. But this is a situation where we have to rationalize that denominator. It's going to multiply both top and bottom by the square root of 35. So it'll be 6 square roots of 35 over 35. The secant of t is reciprocal of cosine, 1 over x. So it would look like 1 over negative 1/6, which just turns into negative 6 over 1, or negative 6. And then finally, the cotangent of t is x over y. So that would look like negative 1/6 over the square root of 35 over 6. Negative 1/6 times 6 over the square root of 35. So it would look like negative 6 over 6 square root of 35. But 6, of course, will reduce away, and we'll have negative 1 over the square root of 35, which has to be rationalized here. And we'll get negative square root of 35 over 35.